Okay, so in this video, I'm going to attempt to give you everything that you need to build a SaaS on Replit. Now, I'm going to try and cover absolutely everything in this video, and please note that I'm not an expert on Replit, but I'm going to give you like everything, okay? So we're going to talk about OAuth and how to set that up in Google Console properly. I'll start a new account from scratch so that you can see absolutely everything I do. We're going to talk about Stripe, sandboxes. We're not going to talk about live variables. In order to convert to a live site, all you need to do is change the publishable key and secret key that your Stripe account is using, right? But I'm going to show you how to set up everything in Stripe so that when you do that, all you have to do is just copy everything that you did in the sandbox and put it into a live Stripe. But then we'll also talk about ideas, we'll talk about hosting, we'll talk about domains, we'll cover everything in this video, even SEO. Now I will just use Replit for pretty much everything. Replit is really, really nice. Basically, I made an AI assisted search console SaaS the other day on Replit. And yeah, everything worked, and I was absolutely amazed by the results, I have to say. And it's just really, really cool to see. Like this is incredible. Like Stripe works. It's now live Stripe. So like I have my proper variables and stuff. So yeah, let's get into the video. So we'll start with ideas, right? Now, the reason I even want to talk about this is because I think this is super, super important. Don't spend a lot of time on the idea. Just take a basic concept that has worked a million times, add AI, and then ship it. What do I mean by add AI? Add some kind of decision making, some kind of organizing, some kind of data analysis, some kind of automation, some kind of something that uses AI to do something that was maybe previously not possible. Now, I'll give you an example of this right now. Okay, so if you actually look at what Ahrefs has done in the last year or so, you could basically do a version of Ahrefs, but just add loads of AI, just like Ahrefs has actually been doing. Like they've added a lot of stuff recently that you can tell is AI. So what people say is like, if you spend so long thinking of an idea, or what I say is, you're never gonna start. There's this real like thing where people just never start things. You really have to start things. It's the most important thing. I can't say that enough. Starting something is the most important thing by far. Okay, so now that's out of the way with ideas, let's talk about OAuth. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go on Google and type in Google Cloud Console. And you want to make an account. I'm going to make a new project so that we can do everything together. We'll call this video example. Organization, no idea, sure, create. So we'll select the project on the notification here, and now we're all on the same playing field right now, okay? So what you want to do is you want to click on APIs and services. This might take a little bit of me stumbling around, okay? But I'm pretty sure I've mastered this by now. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to OAuth consent screen. And then from here, you want to go to audiences or audience. So it says Google OAuth platform not configured yet. So let's say get started, app name, Big Bossa. Put something serious here, whatever the hell and put your email for, whatever you've bought, whatever domain you've bought. Sure, internal. Oh, okay, never mind. Next. Okay, contact information, sure. I don't know why here they don't put like add test users. I don't know why they don't make it easy for people. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go on audience and you want to add yourself as a test user. What this means is that you will be able to log in despite the fact that the app is not live. So we'll add ourselves as a test user and press save here. And then we'll go to data access, and you want to see if you need any scopes for your specific SaaS, right? So with Search AI Insights, I needed Search Console access, right? So I added the scope here, and I searched for, I think, Search Console, or it's called Web. Just search for Search Console. Okay, so there's a list here of OAuth scopes for Google APIs. Have a look through this, see if you need any of these things, like BigQuery, I don't know, Blogger. There's some pretty useful stuff here, honestly. Firebase, Google Analytics, so you can make some kind of because obviously Google Analytics is an absolute nightmare. So imagine you made an extension that uses AI to just create tracking for people. Like, that is a business, I'm telling you right now. I might make that in today's video just because why the hell not? So yeah, you can look through here. I can't remember. So I just searched for Search Console here. Webmaster, that's it. So I would need to add that scope, right? So I'm actually going to add the analytics, Google Analytics scope. So Google Analytics. Let's see. View and manage your Google Analytics data, see and download, right? View and manage, right? So let's add these two scopes, right? So scope 1. Now, I don't know if this is needed, okay? I will say this right now. I might be wasting my time here, and it might just be really easy to do this. I think it's possible to do this within the code itself. I'm just going to add this here. I believe this will work. Okay, beautiful. And then update. Okay, so now whenever someone logs in through our OAuth tool, we have access to their Google Analytics data. Now you want to go to clients, and you want to create a client, and we want to do a web application, web client 1, sure. For now, I'll just put here HTTP localhost 5000. Okay, so I've just added these two local hosts here. I'm not sure if this one's correct. I might have to come back and change this. If I get an error, then this is the first thing that I'll be checking. So now we're going to press create here. Now I'll delete this at the end of the video, but basically this is all you actually need. Okay, so we can open up another notepad. God bless my computer. Like, look at the notepads that I've got open, guys. I think this is what's causing my computer to lose its mind. Okay, so we'll put these in a notepad. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so now we have OAuth ticked off. Perfect. Let's set up Stripe. Okay, so I'm just on my dashboard, my Stripe dashboard. You need an account for this, obviously. I'm not going to go through that here. And you just want to go to the settings, or click up here, switch to Sandbox, create a sandbox. Cool. I don't know. Create sandbox. So copy your account. Perfect. Okay, so the first thing you want to do once you're here is you want to go to product catalog, create a product. We'll call this monthly. This is monthly. You can set whatever you want here. I'm just going through these things just as from a dev perspective to get things working. But obviously think about what you're doing here, etc., etc. Set everything up properly. Do it now, because then you won't have to do it later, and you won't have to figure out what the problem is later. So we now added that product. Click on the product, and you want to, I think you can click on product ID. No, you can't. What we actually need is the price IDs. Okay, there it is. So we'll click on this, and then we'll copy this if we can. No, we can't. So we'll go to the JSON. We'll copy this. I don't know why they don't make that easier. So that's the price ID. Perfect. And then we need the publishable keys. So we'll copy this one and this one. These are just test variables. They really don't matter. Okay, so from here, the only other thing we need to set up is the webhook, right? Because we need a way for us to capture, when someone clicks here and they go to Stripe's API or to their website, or however Replit sets it up, in order to make the purchase, right? And then in terms of database, it's actually really nice on Replit. I'll go through this in a minute, but Replit actually has a database option, which is PSQL, so there's no complicated Supabase or anything like that. I love this. I think this is amazing, and this is something I'm going to be putting into my own builds as well very, very soon, because yeah, it's amazing. So you can click on the developers here. Now, this is a little bit jangly, okay? Jangly is a technical term. It's like an Irish term, I think. It just means a little bit, it doesn't feel great, okay? So you got two options. Either A, you go ahead, you buy a domain right now, and you set that up. And I'll tell you right now, if you've got the money to spend, you'll save yourself a headache. Because the other option is test with a local listener. And it's a pain. Honestly, it's an absolute pain. You need the Stripe CLI for this. I'm probably going to go down this option because I really don't want to spend $15 on another domain right now. But we have a Windows option here. You just install the CLI. I already have it on my computer. I already have it in my environment path. Those things, just get ChatGPT to help you out with. This isn't a technical tutorial. This is kind of overview of everything. So I think personally, you don't really have to set this up completely right now. You don't really need to do this with local listener either. The way that you can do this is you can come back to this later once you've built the product, right? And you're ready to launch. You can put your domain on Replit, get it live, come back here, put all of this info in, and I'll show you how to set it up now. And then if the app works the way you want and the idea is good and everything comes together and Replit gets it, then you buy the domain, right? Because you don't want to be wasting money on domains that you don't really need to. So honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about this, but I will just run through it so that you know how to do it. So add a destination here. You want to select all, webhook endpoint, continue, and then all you want to do, okay, so however Replit codes this. Now, the normal thing, I believe, don't quote me on this because I'm just getting this from the free version of ChatGPT. Let's just quickly check how it's set up on my other sandbox because this is working. So I'll just double check what it's /stripe/callback, right? So ChatGPT completely wrong. /stripe/callback. This is probably what Replit will use, but I will go through making sure that everything is the way that it should be. Now you cannot put HTTP localhost 5000 here, unfortunately, because it has to be a publicly accessible URL. So I'm not going to put anything here yet because I have confidence that Replit will code Stripe almost fully correctly with maybe 1 or 2 errors, and we'll be able to fix it from there. Now the other option, like I said, is the CLI. So just when you've got your domain, you put your domain, https yourdomain.com, right? And then just press continue. I'm not going to do that now because that's, not my domain. I don't have a domain right now. So you can do this. I will show you this as well. So CD, I already have, it's in my downloads folder, CD downloads, CD Stripe, and then you can do Stripe login. Make sure I'm on the right Chrome browser. Allow access. And then Stripe listen. And then this will give me a WHSEC, webhook secret maybe, or something. I don't know what it stands for, but. And then you can basically use this to test things locally, and you can watch the terminal here to see what happens. But I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to go into Replit. So that's Stripe pretty much figured out. Like, I'll show you how to tie, you just tie everything together at the end, basically. You just need to give it all the correct keys and make sure that your webhooks are properly configured. Okay, so let's go on Replit finally. So let's log in here. I have an account. I actually have been paying for Replit for ages, I think, just accidentally. I just didn't even realize. Now, it costs about $6 to make one, I would say, but honestly, the money is highly worth it. So where's usage? So I launched an entire website, right? Everything, and it's also hosted here, which is just incredible. Like, it's $6.25 to get started. This number used to be like, I mean, we were quoted 15,000 to launch Harbor. Now, obviously, it's two different things. That was a human team in North America, but I mean, if the effect is the same or almost the same, then why not? Okay, so let's create an app here. So last time I did this, I just went with it. One thing I did do is I gave it, oh yeah, I already put it in Notepad, perfect. So you can just give it these, right? And say, I want to make an application that uses AI in order to make Google Analytics data way more accessible to people, as right now it's really hard to find what you want to find. I want to make something that simplifies this for people while also offering amazing insights based on the data, including short snippets of information on the data in front of them, varying styles, no, varying formats and ways of visualizing the data, and all in a easy to navigate but clear and modular dashboard system. These are all the credentials you need, except an API key for, I think I'll just say for Anthropic. I think we'll just use Anthropic for everything. I have configured access to Google Analytics data on my OAuth, and I've given you an Anthropic API key at the bottom too. I just copied that into the API keys. And then honestly, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll just press start building here. Now, honestly, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I'll delete all these keys, I promise. I always do anyway. This is one of the coolest builds I've ever seen of anything. I'm not gonna lie, it's super, super impressive the way that it does this. And pretty much everything is perfectly coded. Probably took me 10 messages after just to perfect everything, but that includes me like building an entire, well, not me, but the AI building an entire front end with SEO'd pages, right? This is kind of amazing, to be honest with you. Like, look how cool this is. It still needs a bit of love, obviously. I understand it's not in a fully finished state, but like it's pretty damn good and pretty damn close. Okay, so last time I just approved the plan, so I'm just gonna approve the plan again. Now watch this. This is where things start to get so cool. You can actually go on database here and create a database. Now we have a database. That's literally it. It's done. Like, you don't have to worry about Superbase. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff, right? It's just set up. I have a PSQL or just an SQL database right here. It's pretty cheap as well, I think. It has auth here. I didn't bother with this. And then we also have deployments. This is super, super interesting. So you can open this up. I would probably go with reserved VM. Autoscale seemed like it might be expensive, but I don't really know. I got worried about it being too expensive. I wasn't sure. I didn't look too much into it. Maybe I'll try Autoscale this time. Okay, so you can put it on one machine. This is pretty good. Oh, per second. Nah, that's... This pricing is weird. I don't understand. Compute units are billed at per compute unit, but how frequently? Per second, right? And you have 80 of those. That's going to add up to like a lot over a month, I would say. I'm just going to go reserve VM, honestly. It just seems like the smart idea. So yeah, look at this. We already have the database right here. I'm just going to deploy it. It's 640 per month, which is fine, honestly. If it just handles everything, then why not? So I didn't actually deploy it this early last time. I just yeah, just wanted to show you guys that you can deploy apps. And then also you can vibe code on the go on the Replit app, which is next level crazy for me personally. I always talk about this. If you can do two different things at once, right, then you're working twice as much as anyone else, right? If not four times as much. Depends how quick you are. If you're doing two different things quickly at once, then you're probably doing, as much as four people. As long as these things are powering your income in some way, and you're funneling this into money basically in some way, then yeah, that's kind of how you scale, right? As a one person army. So to be able to do, like, I don't know, you could do work here, and then while you're at work, you could vibe code apps now on Replit, which is honestly crazy. I love it. And it's pretty simple as well. It's a QR, bang, bang, done type deal. So, okay, so I'm just setting these environmental variables because it's asked me to. No problemo. Stripe secret key is this one, and this one is this one. There we go. Replace zero secrets because there are account-wide secrets and then there's project-wide secrets. Okay, so we have our first kind of initial look, right? So we have a preview here. Okay, so I made an account and logged in and it worked. I wonder if there's a new user here. Users. There's no users here, interestingly. But we are inside this. Okay, so I either got really lucky on my first go or something has just gone terribly wrong here. Maybe it was the way that I prompted, but I mean, the account does work. That's pretty cool to see. I don't know where it's got that picture from. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting pretty much there now. All I did was say, I just said some basic things, right? How do I connect my Google Analytics if it's login with username/password? Also make sure no 404 in the backend, and there's lots of errors in DevTools. So I've redeployed now. Hopefully this will actually work this time. And then if it does work, we can actually test the OAuth connection. I'm going to leave the video once the OAuth's done. In terms of Stripe, you just have to buy a domain. You have to set the domain in Stripe like I showed you before. And then you should be able to set the domain here, right? You go to settings, link a domain, put the domain here just by changing the DNS settings. It's very, very easy. If you buy the domain on Vercel, and Vercel domains are only like $10, it's very, very easy to change and put your domain here. It's very, very simple. Then kind of final thing I did was I just got all these errors that were in the browser console. If you don't know how to do this, you just right click. Let's just refresh this. Let's just log in. Very annoying login system that it's created here. You just right click, inspect console, right? You see all these errors. Click around a little bit, have a look what works, what doesn't work, try and get as many errors as you can here. Send them all to Replit, get it to fix all of them. So one thing that I have to give credit where credit's due that Replit does that I love, right? I have only sent 3 messages in total to Replit. Now what Klein tends to do and what Rue tends to do and what all these tools tend to do, augment code, everything, they just say, okay, done. And then they attempt completion and then you find out that everything is still broken. On the other hand, Replit tends to really dig into a lot of detail, and I gave it one prompt here up here and look how many fixes it made. I gave it these errors and then said also the settings page doesn't work, right? Klein would probably change 1 or 2 things and then just complete, right? Look how many changes it made. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then it says, am I stuck or am I doing good? And then it says, okay, no, we need to continue. It's 50 changes at least just from that tiny little prompt, right? That's crazy. It really is. Okay, so let's see if anything's working yet. Okay, so the settings page now works. We now have this button here. If this works, I'm going to end the video and basically we're there, right? Like you can vibe code all of these things on the side here, say make them good, really, really, blah, blah, blah. Then you can say, give me 15 pages to advertise this, like SEO optimized pages that can stand on their own. Work on that for a little bit, vibe code, vibe code, vibe code, and then just change the domain and literally make Stripe work, which won't take long because it will probably be implemented almost fully. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so this is probably going to be the last kind of clip of this video. Let's see if it actually works. Okay, so let's create the account, go to settings. Are you kidding me? Okay, so the settings page now works. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it says URI mismatch. That is because this is not set on my console. So we'll go back here, add URI, add this, and then add URI, add this. Okay, and then save that. Now this OAuth might be wrong. We'll find out now if it's correct or not. Let's refresh this. Obviously I get logged out, log in, settings, integrations, connect. Let's see, still says URI mismatch. Okay, so I've just gone on my other one here and I've got it's /API/auth/Google/callback. So we'll try that. Let's go back to video example here. I already know that this is the problem. So I would be very surprised if this doesn't work now. Lucky I noticed that double slash because that probably would have got me. Let's refresh here. Got logged out again, of course. Now it does seem to remember my user, which is good, but I just wonder if that's actually in a database or in some kind of local storage. Come on, don't say URI miss. Now I'm not exactly sure what's causing this error. However, I would be willing to bet that it's one or two things. Either A, it's some kind of cache issue, or two, it's the way that Replit redirects could be the issue. I'm just not sure. Let's just see if incognito works. Probably not. No. Right, okay, so it's hard coded. This is the issue. You need to be really careful with things like this on Replit. This is a hard coded variable inside the code, so you need to make sure that you tell it to use something different, right? So that should work. And now I have to wait for this to redeploy again, but I'm pretty sure that'll work now. Okay, so I promise you guys, don't lose your sanity with these kind of things, okay? It seems very repetitive. It seems like nothing's ever going to work. There's always a solution. You're always wrong, not the code. With Replit, that's pretty accurate, to be honest with you. Settings, I'm guessing this is going to work. Oh, okay, right. So let's see if OAuth is configured correctly. Beautiful, this looks like it's actually working. You can see it's asking for analytics data, continue. Okay, so it didn't fully work. It was pretty much there, we can see. It just needs a little bit more and it needs to be told to redirect properly. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire process, guys. That's everything you need to build a SaaS, right? It didn't quite go as I wanted. There are definitely a few more things to consider here with this SaaS than my last one, but you can just see that it's much better than building this kind of thing with Klein or whatever. I'm going to leave the video there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching all the way to the end of the video, you're an absolute legend, and I'll see you very, very soon with some more content. Peace out.